Hello everyone, as with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And once again, this is the one-day chart. We're sitting here at $1.37. Earlier today, XRP touched $1.27. Because of this right here, U.S. airstrikes targeting military sites in Iran. And everybody rushed to put out videos and post all doom and gloom. Expect XRP now to hit under $1 before the end of the day. But something different happened. All of a sudden, XRP started breaking to the upside, and it went back into the green. And that was really strange because honestly, I thought, here we go. My buy order at 99 cents is going to get hit. And all of a sudden, crypto went in the opposite direction. Look at Bitcoin sitting just under 67K. And we're still following Bitcoin right now. I see all these people talking about this decoupling that's happening. There's no decoupling happening right now. We are still following Bitcoin, and we need to see where Bitcoin goes from here. If the dominance starts to fall while the price of Bitcoin rises, that solidifies we are going into alt season. That is not happening right now. And everybody said Jake Claver is crazy. But you know what? His timeline is still spot on. He says, feels surreal to see this playing out almost 2 years to the day after releasing my first video on the domino theory. Breaking, the Strait of Hormuz is effectively closed. Japanese tankers turning back, Greek fleets rerouting, Saudi, Iraqi, and Emirati crude sitting still in the water. So if this conflict continues, we could see oil prices spike this week. But Jake is not wrong. The only thing wrong was his timeline. Take a listen to his domino theory explained.
The domino theory, just a high level chain of events. Oil spikes, Japan raises interest rates, they rotate out of U.S. treasuries and buy their own bonds, U.S. bonds flood the market. We have the stablecoin bill passed here in the U.S., so we have banks and institutions that will soak up those treasuries as they flow onto the market because the demand here for issuing stablecoins will be high. It's around $2.3 trillion total globally. That is, foreign debt held outside the U.S. treasuries that will flow back here. And guess what the amount of, estimated demand for stablecoins is? $2.3 trillion, exactly the same. So that'll be shored up. It'll shore up the bond market. But with the reverse carry trade unwinding at scale, you're going to see a haircut across markets. Anything risk on, risk off, it's not going to matter where your money is. There's going to be a repricing. So gold, again, I'm going to be unpopular. Same thing with silver. I think you're going to see a 50% drawdown both. But I do think it's going to be a big drop, a huge drawdown. Bitcoin has the same problem. Bitcoin and gold, both big drawdowns. Tether is then depegged. So exchanges need other liquidity. And they're going to have to start utilizing XRP, just like in Shane Ellis's theory, to be able to settle inside of the exchange. Anyway, I think that there's less than 100 million left on the OTC desk. And the dark pools, I think we're right down to the end of it here. And that's why you're starting to see price move a little bit more aggressively for XRP. I do anticipate that we are going to see a BlackRock ETF or exchange traded product here in 2026 for XRP. And I do think that that'll add significant amounts of demand, but I think that's going to happen right at the opportune time. Again, when all of these other catalysts play out to be able to drive XRP's price up to then settle the back into the stock market and de-risk from all of the losses on Bitcoin and settled in real time. So again, if you haven't watched the domino theory, I've been talking about this for, 21 months. It'll be 2 years in March of this year ago that I put out the original domino theory and the thesis.
So you still think that Jake is wrong? I think he might be wrong on just a couple of things. And the one thing that he definitely got wrong was the timeline. But you can't really predict these things to happen on a specific day. He also talks about Tether depegging, and we just witnessed Tether almost depegging recently. Will we see that again? And the reason that they'll choose XRP to provide that liquidity is because no one controls XRP. It's a global bridge currency that also delivers on-demand liquidity. His timeline might have been wrong, but he's definitely not crazy like people are saying. And EZA says geopolitical conflict is long-term bullish for crypto, regardless of the short-term effects, because people everywhere in the world need a safe place for their assets and a safe currency to use. Blockchain is the safe haven. He's not wrong either. You know, whenever you see something like this happen in the world, I think that something much bigger is happening in the background. I honestly believe we are now witnessing the early signs of the Great Reset. Everybody said the Great Reset has been canceled, but nobody canceled the Great Reset. It was put in motion a long time ago, long before 2020. You know, this was something they planned long before Bitcoin, and it's playing out right now. Paul Barron says, why is the administration so determined to kill retail yield? The OCC's new rule targeting stablecoin interest is the signal Congress needed to finalize its crackdown. In the middle of a massive layoff wave, they're stripping away a vital tool for regular people to keep their heads above water, protecting the big banks while the little guy gets squeezed. Dirty pull. You know, they don't want anyone to make money off of their money. It's the same reason that the bank doesn't give you anything on your money. They want to keep you poor, and at the same time, they want to reap all the rewards that you should be getting on your money for themselves. You deposit your money into the checking account. Then they loan that money out. They get interest off that money, and then they give you less than 1%. And then something comes along like a stable coin, and all of a sudden it offers yield, and they're like, oh no, we can't let that happen. Everybody will pull their money out of the broken banking system. And that's what's going on right now. That's what's delaying clarity and regulations in the U.S. Brad Garlinghouse says, the door to a deal is wide open. The banks just need to act in good faith and walk through it. So imagine now with this conflict going on in Iran, they pass the Clarity Act in the background. That market structure bill gets passed. That would just show you that all of this was pre-planned. Is it going to happen? I'm sure we will soon find out. South Korea fuels XRP frenzy, driving 33% of global volume. South Korea absolutely loves XRP. So think about that. Whenever you see XRP move in the middle of the night, if you're here in the United States, usually that volume is coming from South Korea. 33% of XRP trading happens in South Korea. And they love this cryptocurrency way more than Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you're still in crypto, you are a psychopath. If you're still in crypto, you are on your way to becoming a legend. Because if you held up to this point, you can definitely make it to the finish line. Because this entire cycle, it's been nothing but delay after delay. Every time the market looks so damn bullish right away, and I've said it at the beginning of video after video, it looks like we could see the next leg up here. What happens? All of a sudden, something happens in the world and the price comes down again. If you made it through all of this, you will make it to life-changing money. The face melting phase is next. Even if we follow the yellow downside trajectory, it may become the opportunity of a lifetime to accumulate more XRP. The real face melting phase won't reward comfort. It will reward those who endure pain first. Many still don't fully grasp the principle. No pain, no gain. So Greg is saying that we could see more downside before we see that breakout to the upside. Now, his timeline on this chart puts us out into 2027 before we bounce, or the end of 2026. I think it's going to start sooner. So many things are on the verge of happening right now. It all starts with regulations. Once they get past, that's it. The floodgates then open for XRP. But it's not going to be a day one event. I always tell people that because you have all these people out there. The second the president signs it, XRP is going to $100 plus. At first, I think you're going to see that sell-off before we see the breakout. XRP market cap signals massive upside. $11 target is in sight. They're talking about the XRP market cap chart, which you see right here. So this descending wedge that we've been in is due for a breakout, due for a rebound at some point. And once that rebound comes, that's going to start to push the price of XRP up. And as that's happening, I think we won't only see $11. I think we're going to see more like a good push up above $12, $13, $14, then maybe a pullback, and then the next push will push us even higher, most likely somewhere around $40 to $60. But on a more bullish prediction, I would say that most likely gets us closer to 3 digits. It depends on what happens leading up to the breakout. If we have regulations, we go higher. If tokenization starts to amp up, we go higher. If cross-border payments amp up, we go higher. If we see scarcity, we go higher. All of those things are going to be part of getting XRP above $100 because now everybody's predicting $100 XRP all of a sudden. Before, everybody was conservative. I don't even think we're going to see $10. Remember that? Now, all of a sudden, the narrative is starting to change. And I think people are getting more bullish on XRP because they're starting to see how it's all coming together. If you understand this cryptocurrency, what it's built to do, you see the puzzle pieces now. You know, a couple of years ago, all of this was conspiracy theory. Remember, no bank was ever going to work with Ripple. No bank was ever going to hold XRP. We now know that banks are utilizing RippleNet and holding XRP as well. And all those old narratives from the past, they've been debunked along the way. And I think people are starting to realize that now. But when you look at this chart, it looks like we're about to see another move upward. I'm really hoping that happens. I want to see how the markets open on Monday morning as well, tomorrow, because that'll give us a better sign of where we go from here. I think it's way too early for people to be saying, oh, this is the breakout we've been waiting for. We're now in alt season. The price of XRP literally just touched $1.27. Now we're sitting a dime up from there, and people are acting like we're going to the moon. We don't know what's going to happen next. Whenever you see conflict, things could go in either direction. But let's see how it all plays out. And until it happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.